With respect to solution and services offered by Vertiv, Vertiv do have a wide range of solutions when we look at data center critical management space. Um, the products which we have, we offer UPS, we offer racks, monitoring system, cooling, power distribution system, remote management system. I think whatever goes in the data center critical infrastructure management, Vertiv has got all the products available as part of the solution. We also have a strong service network, okay, which is across pan India. I think that gives us edge over maybe rest with respect to our strength in the marketplace in this space. Yeah, it was actually a tough time, and I think our service team did a very fantastic job. I recollect, you know, uh, them reaching out to the customer. I think we had to go through, but I think this being, the essential services, we managed to get some permissions. But I think we also ensure that we are compliant to the laws, and I think, our uptime, in fact, didn't get impacted at all during pandemic. I think service team, our franchisee network, our partners, everybody did a wonderful job, in terms of keeping customer, systems up, during this pandemic time. So, we are proud of them. The remote support was very much in place. I think, and it was, very much active because I think the movement was limited, restricted, and I think whenever we couldn't manage or put the what do you call it as support, and it needed physical support. On site. Then I think we worked out all the formalities with respect to the permissions and all. But then I think our remote support was quite robust. We managed, our customers to get easy access to us, and we turned it around very fast. We are, on support, online support also was quite. In fact, there are a lot of things which we did, during pandemic times. We actually it was very innovative in its nature. Not only service. I think even when we got a permission on manufacturing and we had some capacity, allowed, in terms of manufacturing activity. So what we could do is some of the customers who wanted to do testing. We got our online, testing enabled, through which they can see the product, they can ask questions, they can get it technically evaluated. I think, not. I'm just talking from a perspective of complete end-to-end customer support. It was perhaps. I think I will definitely rate service and service, engagement with customers very high, and I think all the thought process went behind it the moment lockdown was declared. And in fact, we spend number of hours in terms of understanding how we are going to do, how we are going to provide support to the customer during lockdown. And I think some innovative ways, came out. Then finally, I think we settled out on online support plus physical moments, which was with what do you call it as permissions. And I think we managed to get appreciations from customers. Where I think I remember some of the data centers really, you know, uh, appreciating us on account of I think the support which was rendered during lockdown period. So we'll see in channel business. I'm actually, I think, see my scope is absolutely channel. Channel would mean, I would not touch too high on the colo business or a data center as such. I think
Exactly.
because those set of customers are managed directly by what you, in a direct model. But we have, outside that, I think when we look at larger spectrum of customer base, in fact, so we look at the businesses like which are and, relatively, what do you call it as, towards edge application. Okay, where the customer needs the infrastructure to support its needs. Okay, and our partners play a role there. So coming back to your question, which you asked, is that what do we see there? I think if you say off late, my answer would be the business has not fully recovered yet. And I think, yes, it's on a recovery path, but not the way we see business happening pre-pandemic. But I think I would call it as on a very, very high recovery path. While we see what is trending in the marketplace, I think people have started looking at the segments and sectors opening up, and that's where they see opportunity, and that's where we are seeing demand coming in. I mean, if I have to perhaps single out something, I think we look at the edge applications picking up, as I think the data is, uh, growing very fast, and and exchange of data, I mean, has to be very fast, and I think the response time with respect to any exchange of data has to be pretty swift. I think that's driving the technology towards edge application, and our products are much suitable, to cater to that need in the marketplace. Well, I think there are a lot of. In fact, I had gone through I had made a recent presentation about it. I think there are various, applications. I think we are talking about, first and foremost thing is 5G, which is driving more and more data. This thing, and second, I think, is IoT. See, it's primarily driven by data, size going up, and and if you look at it, I think we are looking at it from a perspective of uh, how the exchange of data happens, how fast. I think that will play an important role. As such, 2021, when we look at it, I think we are still at watching the market closely, because if you ask me, I won't be able to forecast it, because it will be very, very premature to really, predict something, on account of 2021, because as we watch the market, I think, uh, you know, uh, uh, bouncing back, I think we look at some segments of industry immediately picking up. I think government is one of them, because I think government is moving a lot of initiatives on the IT platform, and the other segment perhaps is going to be pharma, where I think, and I think where e-commerce platform, I think they will also throw a lot of opportunities in the marketplace. Well, I think while we are seeing a burst, in terms of explosion in terms of data, I think we see these some of these applications, some of these needs, where exchange of data becomes a very important aspect. I think picking up from market standpoint to be available, where exchange of data, voice, and happens. I think a lot of calls, every activity actually is now on digital platform. So when we see, first and foremost thing, I think from our standpoint, we are seeing, the need of backup. So people used to come to Bombay and work here. I think now, people are perhaps, they were working in Bombay, but they have gone to their native place and they're working from the native place. So work from anywhere is something which has come. So when we look at, a backup needed, I mean, because, when you are on a call, like if there is any interruption, so you won't like it, right? And uh, there can be interruption like power failure, there can be interruption like bandwidth not sufficient enough, you know uh, So I think we have solutions there. We support that. Well, I think from a bandwidth perspective, I think as I said that that data exchange drives the whole need of edge, and we see it importantly we see it supporting the whole drive in the market. Yeah, certainly. I mean, when we see somebody, first of all, I think let's examine the pain areas. Pain area is on account of quality of power and and backup. I think in both these areas, Vertiv plays a role, right? I mean, it's a leading solution we have. We have a lot of products which can support them, depending on how much backup they need, or and what kind of power quality they need. I think we have solutions there. Well, on account of bandwidth, we may not support directly a consumer, but we support someone who is, you know, who is running that infrastructure. Okay, like if you look at, for example, what are the drivers, okay, and enablers for edge today? I think edge is something which I keep on talking about. Okay, it's like the data has become the prime driver. Okay, because there's a lot of growing load on cloud infrastructure. Okay, and then the speed becomes a driving force. Like how machine to machine what is the latency sensitivity between machine to machine, and that's where the speed becomes the driving force. Okay, then the technologies like IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, I think 5G. So these areas become very important, and these are the opportunities which perhaps we as Vertiv, okay, and that's where our ecosystem is geared up in terms of partners, products, programs. I think it's geared up to go and get out in the market. I think I would want to perhaps maybe this touch upon this point. We are not actually waiting and watching. I think if you ask me, our readiness is ahead of. We already have anticipated what is likely to happen. But as I said, that that as organization, are we ready? I think if I look at the whole 2021, I divide this 2021 into 2 or 3 cycles. The first cycle is the recovery. I think that's very important. Whether we foresee recovery, one, two. So what are the enablers from our side on the recovery side? Which is where I think where the partners will play a role. Distribution setup will play a role. Skills, competencies, programs. I think all those things will play a role, right, in terms of triggering the recovery, right? Second cycle I feel is which is where market will settle down, which is called we will start seeing true opportunities in the marketplace. Where I think we will start seeing having visibility of the forthcoming opportunities in the marketplace, because I think today even the customer, okay, is avoiding to put investments into place because the overall demand has gone down since it's a cascading effect. So well, I think, are we geared up for that piece where we are seeing? Yes, that's where I think, if you ask me, a lot of trainings, programs, where we are sharp. It's like sharpening the X, right? So you go and get your ecosystem ready to take that challenge in the marketplace, where they will go and grab those opportunities which will start appearing as visible in the marketplace. Third piece is where we are seeing a takeoff, where we are seeing something coming closer to 2019 or maybe exceeding that. So I think we honestly need to see the trends of the technology. Okay, and I personally see trends of the technology as I said, flagship is the edge side of it, okay, where I think all the indications are towards that, uh, that this is going to be turning out to be a big opportunity for everybody. Okay. Two is, I think, while we see that, I think government is also investing into IT infrastructure, and that becomes another area of opportunities available to the marketplace. Okay. Three is, I think there are a lot of investments coming in. People are trying to. I think the government is also looking at Atmanirbharta, which is, I think a small scale, a small setup, coming up, startup companies coming up. I think I'm from opportunities which I'm seeing, though they are very small, but I think startup companies have started buying, because I think they need to set up their shops in case they want to really, get ready for the growth, in the marketplace. I think, there are indicators which are defining all these three, you know, what do you call it as changes or variants which are expected in the marketplace in 2020. In fact, that is, if you ask me, to 2020, it was mid of May or June. I mean, I will not recollect it completely. I think the challenge, we settled down with the challenge. I think the only challenge perhaps was that the suppliers were not geared up. Otherwise, I think, I think, all those dynamics were put in place, integrating the complete support system in terms of manufacturing. I think when we are coming into 2021, we are in fact much prepared than what perhaps is, I think with all our learning due to pandemics, I think we are applying here. We are looking at, okay, how do we look at each supplier, you know preparing themselves for minimum. So I think I don't see any challenge with respect to manufacturing at all, because I think, as I said, we started delivering on promised dates post June. So I think I think I always believe in sticking to fundamentals, basics, make it simple. I think I leave perhaps a message for our partners that since customer first is our mantra, so we stick to it, and let us keep looking at what customer needs, and look at the pain areas if they have any, and align our offering accordingly. I think that's one. Two is, I think, we ensure that we keep our customers happy. So we measure this happiness through various formats of feedback, and so I think we ourselves take a dipstick on where we are and what is the scope of improvement. So that's how we keep on excelling on on our deliverables. We welcome feedback. Uh, I think if customer has any feedback, the feedback is welcome. So to the that Vertiv has got most of the products, which goes into their uh, manufacturing setup. I mean, in terms of plant or into IT application. I mean, be it UPS, be it the cooling side, be it management, remote management, be it uh, be it what do you call it as uh, backup, as UPS. I think we offer end-to-end solution in critical infrastructure management space, and I look forward for customers to uh, identify and give us an opportunity always, where we can integrate our solution and support them. So I think, uh, as summarized message, so first of all, to everybody is have a great 2021. I think uh, we need to align better. One, two, I think we see ourselves working together and creating a reliable ecosystem for our customer.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.